James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore them or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Yeah. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. But you know what? Today is 306-degree help. So we got Dr. Michael Mantell. And I tell you what, let's lock all of the different platforms, television, radio, and everything in at the same time. So Toddy, let's do it!
Are y'all ready? For the Dr. James J.C. Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Hello. Welcome to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And I tell you what, it is your life. Everything about you is your life. Hold up your head. Remember, the link is what you think. And speaking of that, it's 360-degree health. Every Tuesday, you already know that. And we have one of the world's greatest doctors. And he's also my great friend, Dr. Michael Mantell. How are you doing today, Doctor?
I'm doing great, James and Michelle. Wishing you a very, very healthy, above all, holiday season. I hope your Christmas was wonderful. And we're looking forward to a beautiful new year. And, we're going to be talking today about the one thing that healthcare desperately needs, but can't be taught in a textbook: compassion. Can't wait to get into this topic with our guest.
Well, compassion is needed in everything that we do, because if we don't take care of, I'm talking about compassionately, coming from our heart, the patients and everybody will know that. How you doing, Dr. Michelle Cooley? How you doing today?
I am doing great. Excited about the show today and excited about our guest today.
I'm excited about the show today and this absolutely fantastic guest. So let me tell you, whichever platform that you're watching us on, was it E360 television, Transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Apple TV, Roku TV, Rumble, Facebook, all this stuff, and 84 different platforms. Welcome to the show. And if you want to be part of this great conversation, regardless of which platform that you're watching us on, all you have to do is go to the comments, ask any question that you might have, and we'll get to you. Or you can pick up the phone, because you're on the radio today. You can pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. Michelle, I'm excited. I'm excited about this guest. Can you please do the honors by introducing the title of the show, purpose of the show, and introduce this absolutely magnificent guest?
Yeah, so the title of today's show is called The Science of Compassion and the Science of Stress. And we're having a sit-down conversation with Katelyn Carey. She is a nurse educator, author, and award-winning speaker. She's going to discuss empathy versus compassion in healthcare, the science of stress and high emotional conversations, and other items that go with these topics. So again, she's a nationally recognized nurse, educator, author, and award-winning speaker dedicated to transforming healthcare through compassion, science, and innovative program design. With over 20 years of experience across hospital, hospice, and nonprofit settings, she has led clinical operations, developed nurse residency programs, and created trauma-informed education resources, including the internationally utilized Beauty After Breast Cancer book. A TEDx presenter and a frequent speaker at leading medical conferences, Katelyn blends science, humor, and storytelling to translate complex data into practical tools that improve patient experience, strengthen provider competence, and reduce burnout while inspiring cultural transformation in healthcare. Please welcome to the show for the very first time, Katelyn Carey.
How you doing, Katelyn? How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Wow.
Good to have
Glad
you
be
with
here
us.
with you.
It's
Thank you for
absolutely
being
great to
here.
have you on because, hey, Dr. Mike, I don't think that we ever really went off into this type of topic. We done had so many other healthcare professionals on, but if I don't know, maybe we did, but this sounds very interesting, and I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
getting into this. So I know you are as well, Dr. Mike.
I sure am. I know this is an important topic because it makes a difference in the healing process of why we go to doctors and what we're concerned about in the first place. We want to be taken care of, not just be treated. If you recall, Dr. Apurv Gupta was on a loving organization. That's where Katelyn and I connected. So we have been talking about this, but Katelyn brings a very unique, very special approach that we're going to dive into and unpack. I think our audience is going to be very, very well educated after this hour.
Wow. So Caitlin, I always start out with the first question, and then I pretty much turn it over to Dr. Mike, and I jump back in every now and then. So can you tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit more about you, where you grew up, why you're so passionate about what you do, and how did you go about choosing the healthcare industry?
I grew up in Minnesota and spent the first couple decades of my life heavily involved in theater. For a little while, I was making my living as a professional sword fighter and belly dancer. And then I accidentally lit my head on fire in a fire eating accident. That proved to me that I needed a little bit more first aid training to keep myself alive through apparently the adventures of my young adulthood. And I flipped switches and went to nursing school, where I worked critical care for the last couple decades. And I enjoy complex people-based problem solving. I just love taking complicated things and breaking them down to the simplest possible measures of why things work and why things don't, especially in those high stress, life or death types of spaces.
Oh, that's fascinating. But I want to come back to the belly dancing or sword fighting. Can you show us a little bit about that? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I know that JC and I would love to see that. There you go. Okay. I'm sorry. Let's move on. You're the first guest that's ever brought that to our show. Okay. Take me back.
Creative roots.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, we're going to connect well. I can see that. What moment in your nursing journey made you realize that compassion wasn't just nice, but really was essential to healthcare survival?
So a lot of what tipped me into the blend of experience and science was frustration when I stepped into patients' shoes. So when I was 29, I had a preventative mastectomy. My family has a horrendous family history of breast cancer. And being a belly dancer, the cleavage had something to do with my self-image and such. And I was a brand new nurse. I was right down the hall from the genetic counselor's office. So I had a lot of information and I had time to make my decision. And I was still stumbling over all of the information that was given to me. And it just made me think, okay, if I'm having a hard time and I have all these blessings on my plate, an understanding of medical, an understanding of what it means to make this decision, no urgency involved, and I'm struggling this hard, then how is anybody else getting through it? And it really made me look at the way that we talk to people and the way that we interact with folks, and how I don't think in healthcare we do a very good job understanding that people who are stressed process information differently. They retain information differently. And if we aren't changing the way we communicate, then we're not reaching folks as effectively as we need to. And it started with anecdotes and experiences and stories of, okay, I know this works, I know this doesn't. And then I started grabbing numbers and reading studies.
You said something very interesting. You said, when I stepped into the shoes of patients. Now, that's a big thought process to do that. I don't think a lot of health professionals, and we're not here to blast health professionals. Thank God we have them. Thank God we have you. But I don't think that's common to go inside the shoes, inside the heart, the mindset of a patient that we are taking care of instead of just treating. So that was a first step. Excuse the pun. That was a first step for you, that you actually did that. What led you to do that?
Well, and interestingly, I still got it wrong. So as a patient, as a surgical patient, going through all these same experiences, having the same types of appointments, going through the same recovery journey as hundreds of thousands of other women have done, I thought, you know what? I know what people need. You know, we need to put more of a human face on this. For example, all you get in surgical offices are these neck to waist post-op shots. And in my mind, it's like, you know what? We're subconsciously confirming people's worst fears. We are convincing them that they really are going to lose their personality to this disease. They're going to become a number. And so I thought, oh, we need real pictures of real people. And I thought, I'll just put together a brochure and I'll give it out, and it'll be hopeful and informative, and that'll be great. Turns out wasn't enough, because it was just one person's story.
Wow. I'll tell you what, we're going to come back. We're going to talk about a lot more. Before the end of the show, I want to hear about this early dance. I walked away, but we're going to take a station break. If you want to be part of this great conversation, all you have to do is go to the platform, comments, whatever you're watching us on. Send your comments in, or pick up the phone and call Toddy. I called my producer, Toddy, my producer in San Diego and Dallas. Call him at 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
For the Dr. James J.C. Cooley Show. It's your life. Hey, it's your life with Dr. James J.C. Cooley. That's right. It's Dr. James J.C. Cooley. It's your life show. Dr. James J.C. Cooley.
Looking to advance your education or career while staying true to your Christian faith? At Viridian Christian University, we make higher education affordable, flexible, and accessible wherever you are, cultivating a vibrant learning community where faith and knowledge converge, preparing graduates to fulfill their life's purpose. Whether you're pursuing a bachelor's, master's, doctorate, or honorary degree, Viridian's 100% online programs can fit your lifestyle. Study on your schedule from your home, office, or anywhere without compromising quality or values. With affordable tuition and programs in Christian leadership, business, and theology, Viridian will equip you to lead with purpose in a changing world. Go to ViridianChristianUniversity.com and see how you can join our global fellowship of faith-driven leaders, online and affordable. To learn more and apply, visit ViridianChristianUniversity.com. Viridian Christian University, a unique and dynamic environment for success, empowering.
It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. Yeah. Come on.
generation of leaders and heroes, get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, a journey that ain't over yet, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith and learning come together to transform lives. At VCU, we believe that education is more than just academics. It's about fostering a community of growth, integrity, and purpose. Whether you're pursuing a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate, VCU offers flexible, affordable, and 100% online degree programs that cater to your busy life. Our innovative platform provides a personalized learning experience, empowering you to thrive in today's ever-evolving world. Join a global community of learners guided by an experienced faculty who are committed to your success. With VCU, you're not just earning a degree, you're preparing for a future that integrates faith, leadership, and service. Viridian Christian University, educating with purpose, transforming lives. Learn more at ViridianChristianUniversity.com.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. Life. And, I tell you that this conversation that we're having today is so important, because compassion and what you do, especially healthcare providers, and also in the patient as well. We have to have compassion to the healthcare providers to make sure that we're listening to the advice that they're providing us, and a lot of other things. So I think it goes both ways when it comes to that. And I tell you, join in on the conversation. Go to the comments on whichever platform that you are watching us on. Ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. Kayla, I want to start off and with your book a little bit, and turn back over to Dr. Mike. What were some of the common mistakes that you made doing your thinking that had the right answer, but wasn't always the right answer, and sometimes we had to learn the hard way?
I wasn't able to put it this simply when I did it. I'm able to put it a lot more simply now. I put myself in patient's shoes, and then I imagined that the answers that I need were the answers that everybody needed. And I think we make that mistake a lot. And I tend to refer to it as a mistake of empathy, meaning a mistake of perspective taking. We put ourselves in someone else's shoes. We don't get them in their shoes, we get us in their shoes. And then whether it's our friend that we're trying to support who just got maybe a scary medical diagnosis, or whether it's the patients in front of us that we're trying to support as caregivers, we mistakenly assume that the answers that we would want in their situation are going to work for everybody. And that's not true. In working with 37 different people on the Beauty After Breast Cancer book, one of the more profound learning experiences for me on why do we need to be compassionate and not empathetic was I don't need to make assumptions putting myself in these folks' shoes. I need to ask questions. I need to, and that's to me a classic piece of compassion. Compassion asks questions. It's about showing true concern and interest in somebody else's experience and learning what fears is that person facing that I can address, not what fears would I be facing in their position.
So let's simplify the difference between, if we can, compassion and empathy. How do you define those?
So from Cambridge Dictionary, empathy is putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, taking on their perspective and trying to imagine their experience, and being emotionally present or resonating with them within that experience. Compassion is seeing somebody else in distress and recognizing that there is distress and wanting to help. But it's not about emotional alignment so much. And the way I prefer to describe it is standing on the dock and you see someone in the water and, oh my gosh, they're drowning. And what would I want if I was in their position? Well, I want you to come and get me. And so you jump in the water to help the person, but now you're in the water with a drowning person. And any lifeguard will tell you that's a terrible idea. Mm-hmm. That you put yourself at risk and you lose your ability to make new decisions and to think critically because you're too present.
Yeah.
Compassion, on the other hand, I see someone in the water, they're in trouble. I intentionally take a little half step back. Do I really understand the situation? Okay, what skills or knowledge do I have that can make this better? And you throw a life preserver to them while simultaneously yelling for help. And I phrase it as two different issues. Empathy is fantastic in straightforward situations or situations where it doesn't matter if you're right, where your empathy is just prompting kindness. But if it's an emotionally intense situation or it's a very complex situation, empathy is more likely to lead us to the wrong answer than compassion is.
Very well said. I hope our audience got that difference. It's a beautiful answer. Now, when we talk about compassion, I think most people think this is something that's soft. It's a good feeling. But we know that there's research and science behind it. Tell us a little bit about the science and the research behind compassion.
Part of the science that I loved on compassion is what it means for us as healthcare providers. And since we're looking at anywhere between 30 and 50% of healthcare providers, whether you're looking at aides, nurses, or physicians, huge numbers and percentages that are burnt out and are potentially looking at leaving the occupation entirely. So the science of empathy versus compassion in that case is that empathy is associated with burnout. Compassion, on the other hand, is associated with improved resilience and better connection with both the meaning of our work and better protected ability to continue connecting with patients on an emotional basis, ironically, over time, because compassion is more focused on agency, doing for instead of feeling with. Feeling with can be vulnerable, can be painful. It actually lights up the same parts of our brain on an MRI that would happen if it was our pain. And ironically, the more that happens, the less capable of empathy we become. Compassion, on the other hand, feeds us because it's action-oriented, because it's still caring, because we're allowed to then walk home at the end of the day having kept that most vulnerable part of ourselves protected, but still having made a difference. So that's the first piece.
I imagine, I imagine if you go into any emergency room and you ask the patients one simple question on a rating scale, do you feel like your doctor, nurse, tech, whatever it may be, aide, cared about you? They would be able to give you a clear answer.
Yes.
Doesn't patient outcome and safety and satisfaction, aren't they enhanced with compassion?
Absolutely. So 76% of patients say this is their number one priority. In choosing a provider, if they can find someone who is compassionate, that they feel listens to them, they will drive further, pay more, even pick somebody who doesn't speak their native language as a provider in exchange for that compassionate interchange. Right. And what we find on outcomes is that it's incredible how many things it affects. So for patients to follow recommendations that were given to them by their provider, that compliance with treatment recommendations increases by 30%. There's fewer infections. There's faster recovery. Mortality rates, death rates are cut in half through that connection with a compassionate provider. And it just keeps rolling, all of the benefits that come from that compassionate connection. And from a provider standpoint, 30% less errors, a lot more work-life satisfaction, and a bunch of bonuses on that side of things as well. So it's definitely in that win-win category.
Yeah. You know, I'm a patient who does not like pain. And my doctors and the nurses who work with them know that. And when the doctor says, Michael, I'm going to hold your hand through this process, I melt. You can do whatever you want because you're so caring. That's what you're talking about. That is amazing. And when you even to make an appointment, the front office, the person said, I know that it's a little bit of a wait to get to see the doctor. And I know that you want to be seen right away because I know that you want to feel cared for. But here's the thing. It's going to be worth it. And you're going to drive a little further. But believe me, this is the best caring. And they know who they're talking to. So when they take the time to do that, the patient, me in this example, just has that vibe and everything feels better. So I love what you're saying. It's just amazing. I want to quote something that you shared. According to the American Organization for Nursing Leadership, psychological safety is rated the #1 priority by 89% of nurse managers. How do leaders influence whether staff feel safe or threatened by the conversations that they have? Amazing statistic you shared, and a good question.
Yeah. So when it comes to compassionate connection, there is no level on which this doesn't matter. Compassionate connection starts at everything from self-compassion to patient-provider compassion to teammate compassion, leadership to staff compassion, and then in terms of the entire industry, working off a system of compassion, like you said, like Dr. Gupta talked about, with that loving leadership versus fear-based leadership. And it really boils down to the more stressed we become, and stress in its simplest form. I told you I love taking complex systems and making them ridiculously simple. Favorite quote, Albert Einstein, everything should be made as simple as possible, but no simpler. So the highest stress that human beings face is high emotion, low control. That's it. You think of a situation that stressed you out, I can pretty much guarantee it falls into that category. And for a lot of us in healthcare, that's kind of where we're living, is in high emotion, low control situations. Whether that's the patient who's coming in, whether that's the nurse who's coming into an understaffed floor where the moral distress is present of, I'm not sure if I can take care of these people. And so realistically, we have to address the two pieces of stress: high emotion, low control. That means reassurance, a safe place to express yourself, agency, a returning of control. So it means feeling seen, safe, understood. You've got an avenue with your leadership team to express yourself authentically, share your ideas, and have that feedback come back to you again.
One of the biggest we're going to take a break in just a moment. I was going to tell you very quickly, one of the biggest areas of mental distress is demanding control. This must be the way I want it to be. We shouldn't have to take a break now, JC.
I like that. But Todd would beat both of us up. I tell you, this conversation is so interesting, and I want everybody, out there just listening. I see the numbers, and I see you locked in. Go ahead on and join us. Be part of the conversation. Be part of the conversation. We're going to take a station break right now, but I tell you what, we're going to come back with a lot more Katelyn and a lot more Dr. Mantell. And I tell you what, I'm going to jam a little bit through this break, so we'll see you shortly after the break.
Cooley. Come on, everybody. It's
Dr. Michelle Cooley. Heart disease research saves lives. It's that simple. Thanks to medical advancements funded by the American Heart Association, more women are surviving heart attacks, strokes, and other cardiovascular diseases than ever before. But there's still so much work to do.
Hi, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I'm raising funds to support life-saving research because every heartbeat is worth fighting for. In honor of Women's History Month, please join me in support of the American Heart Association and women's health.
Oh, it's your life with Dr. James J.C. Cooley. That's right. It's Dr. James J.C. Cooley. It's your life show. Yeah. Dr. James J.C. Cooley.
A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by Dr. James Cooley on Amazon or wherever books are sold.
Check it out. Your life with Dr. James Cooley.
Hello. Welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. And as you already know, in case you haven't locked in case you just tuned in, 360-degree health with Dr. Michael Mantell. He has done it again. He done stepped up to the plate when they needed a home run. And he hit one with this guest that we have on the show today. So he had hit another home run, and I am thoroughly enjoying this conversation because we all have to dive deep into this. And we're talking about the healthcare community. We're talking about patient care. We're talking about, most importantly, Doc and Katelyn, is the healthcare providers showing the patient that, hey, I'm just involved in this as well as you are, and that your best interest is what I have for you. And so we're going to get off into a little bit more of that. But I want to, I do this, and I don't even tell Dr. Michael Mantell when I'm going to do it. But Dr. Michael Mantell wrote a couple of brilliant books. We're going to talk about this one. The link is what you think. And wow. Dr. Mike, what do you have for the viewers today?
Well, let's see. Here's the book. Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. Ba-dum-bum-bum. And no, that Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. That's my first book. The link is what you think. There you go. Okay. Sorry about that. And I opened to page 241 this time. And the link is what you think is my first book. I wrote that in 1988. No, I got it wrong again. My goodness.
You're just making us all feel more human.
I'm just giving you some good examples of good and bad. No, 1988. Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. And then I came out with a book on violence in the workplace, and this book, the link is what you think. In any case, ready to change. Here's my 5 points. 1, want to change something in your life, and this is in honor, I guess, of New Year's resolutions or resolutions and all those things. You can't change something in your life unless you change something going on inside of you first. Try your thinking before anything else. Number 2, the good news is it only takes one person to change your life. Yep. The bad news is for some, that person is you. Number 3, the funny thing about change is that nothing changes if nothing changes. And by the way, you may need to give that change some time to change. Number 4, ready to change? Here's the secret. Don't waste time fighting the old, but instead build something new. And number 5, be thankful for all those difficult people. You know who they are. You've invited into your life. Seriously, be thankful for them. What do you mean be thankful? They've shown you exactly what you do not want to be. If one of these points sparked even one way to live better, the mission has been accomplished. I want you to think curiously, stay kind, and don't sweat the small stuff. Thank you.
Wow.
I'm so excited about this interview that I'm getting all twisted up. But don't sweat the small stuff. Back to you.
We don't sweat. We don't sweat the.
We don't
Caitlin,
sweat.
tell them we don't sweat the small stuff. You know, one thing that by listening to your 5 pointers, stress. You emphasize that stress. Caitlin and Dr. Mike, either one of you, first of all, can you tell our viewers and listeners what is your definition of stress, and what are some of the ways that we can avoid that so we won't sweat the small stuff? Caitlin.
Go ahead, Caitlin.
Stress, high emotion, low control. So concentrate on the things that you can control. You can control your responses to things. You can concentrate on the aspects of things that you have control over or influence over. And the last piece, be grateful for the things that you do have. Be grateful for the blessings that are already in place.
And I guess I would add that stress does not come from the outside. Right now, there's a truck going by my home where I'm broadcasting from, a lot of loud noise, and I don't know what's going on out there. That's not making me feel stress. What I think about it, that's what determines whether I feel stressed or not. Do I think it must be different? I must control it. They should not be here. I'm going to create some frustration, some annoyance. Why am I disturbing myself over something I have no control over? So you're right. Stress is something that we create in our thinking, and we can dial down in our physiological calming, breathing, physical movement, thinking differently. Yeah, I think there's a lot we can do about stress. We are living in stressful times, meaning we are thinking in stressful ways. But I want to go back to what we were talking about, because you read my mind right when you mentioned stress. I want to talk about stress in healthcare. Give us a little bit of insight into the stress that healthcare professionals are feeling today, leading to moral injury and burnout and so forth. I know that physical assault is skyrocketing. People don't even think about that. But what else is going on that's leading to stress?
So, I'm going to start with, again, boiling down to the simplest possible format of what makes a healthy work environment. And it's skipping over all the dry research and all the stats and everything else, and actually going to the first thing that got me diving into this topic, which was actually the book Tribe by Sebastian Junger. And as a wartime journalist, he went in and followed soldiers. And the question that he was asking was, why is it that soldiers in these incredibly high stress environments can function well, can do well, can even thrive, and then they come home where arguably quite a bit less stress, but that's when they fall apart sometimes. And why can they do so well in this high intensity environment and then come home and suffer? And what he boiled it down to is just 3 simple points that have been backed over and over and over again by science. And it's simply this, and it's not just healthcare, it is any workplace industry. We thrive in environments in which our work is meaningful. We ourselves are a meaningful part of the team and a valued part of the team, and our team has our back. And that's it. In that environment, you can ratchet the stress up pretty high and still have an incredibly functional team, capable of compassion, capable of action, capable of critical thinking. When we get too much into our survival brain or our high stress mode of operating, we lose the ability to think critically, and we lose the ability to empathize.
And so a good manager and a bad manager can make it better or worse, right?
Absolutely.
And let's talk about that a little bit. What comes to your mind about that?
So I think of one of the favorite things that a good manager ever did in our ER was to walk in and simply say to us, don't come to me with a problem unless you can also come to me with a solution.
Ooh, okay.
And that sounds a little harsh, But A, he was ex-military, and B, this was an ER. So we're very straight talkers. It's not that different from police or military.
Right.
And what he told us was, I will listen to your solutions. You know, if you come to me with this idea. And the other thing he said is, and I have your back. If you need to draw a boundary with a patient, if you need to act in a way that is maybe not in strict alignment with what the hospital would have you say, I am going to have your back as long as you're appropriate in your actions. And I've done something similar in my own leadership styles, in which I walk in and I said, the first thing that I'm going to do if I get a patient complaint is assume that there was a lack of information, that somewhere there was an education point that got missed, that there was a misunderstanding. I'm not going to assume that my staff is to blame.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to assume the situation is to blame. And when we look at something as complex as healthcare, and we have leaders who are willing to first look for the problems in the system instead of the problems in the people, my gosh, the improvements that can be made in just that one perspective shift are huge.
Is there a word?
How about you? What is?
No, I was wondering, is there a word that you would use to describe a good manager?
I use an acronym.
Okay.
Which is ACT.
Oh, okay.
A is somebody who is able to give to their people agency, accountability, and appreciation. C is compassion and clear communication, and T is trust. And really all of those components simply boil down to, I'm here to listen to you, and I'm here to be your advocate and not your judge.
Beautiful. Well said. I love it. Could I add to that? No.
I tell you what, hold on. We got to take a station break. I'm loving this. I hope you bake that in some type of cake or something in your book, because we're going to tell people where they can get your book when we come back. So whichever platform that you watch this on, you want to be part of this great conversation. All you have to do is go to the platform that you're watching this on. Go to the comment section, any question that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. It's your life. And we'll see you shortly after the break.
JC Cooley.
There's much truth in a journey that ain't over yet. As
1, 2, it's your life with Dr. JC Cooley. Yeah. All right. Your life with Dr. JC Cooley. All right. Everybody, are y'all ready? Dr. JC Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. JC Cooley. Yeah. The James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Hello. Welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Now, I tell you, this conversation that we're having, and Dr. Mike, I'm going to have to go ahead and say it shortly after I make these announcements, but you already know what I'm getting ready to say.
I do. I agree with you, too.
Yeah. So, first of all, you guys probably looking at my commercials and all that, and you're looking at the king and all that type of stuff. My kingdom has gave me authorization that I can go ahead on and put this out. I am the development king of the Agona Kasawa Kingdom in West Africa, and I'm also the ambassador for Central Africa to the United States. What I'm trying to say is my instrument for full-fledged sword power to night or whatever. Michelle and I will be heading back to the kingdom. See how great people. I see a lot of you guys are watching right now in the kingdom. My main king, His Royal Highness. But Michelle will be, with every king, you must have a what, Dr. Michael? Dr.
A
Mike?
queen. Come on.
Michelle will be crowned queen of our kingdom. She's nervous, but I think she's kind of getting over that a little bit. But she's gonna make a great queen. And I would send everybody an invitation, even though if you can't come there, but I send you invitations so you'll see how raw ceremonies are. And so, but I wanted to say that, and that's going to happen the 14th of February. We will be there in Ghana for 2 weeks, and Michelle will be crowned queen. I'm excited about that. Now let's get back to the show. This is so important of a topic that Dr. Michael Mantell, Katelyn, we have not even scratched the surface. I know we had several talking points, but I don't think we got past 6. And but that's okay. That's okay. I would love to invite you back if your schedule permits to do part 2. Now, everybody don't get invited back. I'm just gonna be honest with you. But this is such an important topic. If your schedule permits, Dr. Mike, can you try to twist the arm a
We
little
will
bit?
make this happen right after.
I would love that.
We'll make this happen.
Okay,
We
so
have a little bit
we
left.
have 5 minutes left in the show.
Yes, I was saying we have a little bit left,
Turn it back over to you.
and I want to get into something that when I read your background, you talked about something called the blowfish zone, and I thought, I wonder if that's a mistype, and she means the blue zone. But if you do mean blowfish zone,
I mean the blowfish
right
zone.
into that. And I want to make sure we have time left to talk about how people can get your book, your 2 TED Talks, and be in touch with you. So, a lot to do in the next couple of minutes.
All right, we'll hit it.
Go for it. Tell us about the blowfish zone.
The blowfish zone. All right. You've been waiting in an hour to see your doctor, as you talked about. Maybe your doctor is not that compassionate person that you're willing to wait an hour for. Suddenly, you're starting to get triggered. You're starting to get ramped up. Or, in some other way, you're challenged. You're hitting a stress spot. And suddenly, it's just all becoming too much. Your coping mechanisms are overwhelmed. And you puff up. You become unreasonable and hard to deal with. This is the blowfish zone. It's when our survival response is triggered the same way that we would have if we were facing a wild bear. But so many of our threats these days are abstract. They're not physical. And our body is prompted to react with force. We either attack or we hunker down and defend ourselves. And either way, our critical thinking goes offline. When we either are ourselves in the blowfish zone or we are facing someone in the blowfish zone, this becomes an impasse. This becomes an impossible conversation because it's Paleolithic programming in which blowfish is not listening. Blowfish cannot listen. And we see it all the time these days in our political discussions. Mm-hmm. We're trying to throw logic at somebody who's emotionally escalated and is blowfishing. It's my goal to make this a verb. They are blowfishing. We can't talk to them because they're not listening, but we keep trying and it doesn't go anywhere. So the blowfish zone is about how we take that moment and we actually get to common ground and we actually get to a meaningful conversation instead of getting stuck just shouting at each other.
Amazing. Blowfishing.
Blowfishing.
I want the audience to hear that term. And I know that I promise you that our audience is going to be running all the rest of today, the rest of the week, about people who are blowfishers. And they're what is blowfishing. So there's your word, your verb, and your adjective.
And I learned that you and I have both had teenage kids. So we know what it is to watch somebody blowfish. We know what it is to blowfish ourselves.
Even when your teenagers are in their 40s, you still know about blowfishing. So the thing is this, in healthcare, that can't be good for patients. It can't be good for doctors. It can't be good for the relationship. I mean, if someone's blowfishing, we're going to take your blood pressure. That's not accurate blood pressure. What do you suggest that we do?
Or someone is blowfishing and now security is getting called because they're screaming at the nurse in the waiting room and the nurse doesn't know what to say. And what we tend to say makes things worse. Because what we're prompted to do when we're faced with these highly stressful situations is to act. That's actually the opposite of what we need to do.
Right.
We need to stop. Because the only way that you can talk to a blowfish is to deflate it first. And what that means is stop. Stop trying to make the conversation progress forward. Stop and reestablish safety. What is the other person reacting to? What is their threat?
You know, I use Mr. Rogers frequently as an example of how to deflate a situation. And he looks and says, "Thank you so much for sharing how you feel. I appreciate that." Everything comes down. I love that.
JC, and it's simply calling out the emotion. You know, I see that you're feeling this way. How can I help you right now?
Hey, Dr. Mike Mantell, I never thought you was a Mr. Rogers type of guy.
Oh, I love
it's a great image.
I live in his neighborhood. What do you mean? This is Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
Like Mr. Rogers.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I tell you what, we're down to the last minute of the show. But I want our viewers and listeners out there. Katelyn, so you are committing to coming back on, right? I don't know. I don't want to speak for nobody.
And Katelyn's going to tell us how people can get in touch with her in this last minute.
How can people get in touch with you? How can they buy your book? You got 30 seconds.
All right. KatelynCarey.com. So KATELYN, Carey, CAREY.com. That puts you through to my website. There's a contact me button on there. There's links to the Beauty After Breast Cancer book. The other book that's in progress is Manual for a Happy Adulthood. And that's a lot of the things that we're talking about here, but it's still in progress. And otherwise, the 2 TEDx talks, you can type in my name in TEDx, or you can type in blowfish TEDx.
Talks because I want to start doing. I speak around. I speak a lot. But I have yet to accept a TED. I've been offered that, and I don't forget how that goes for being presented there. But I want to talk to you one day about that. But I'd like to thank you so much for taking the time to come on the James Cooley Show. It's like 360-degree health. The link is what you think, Dr. Mike. You know I love you to death.
Take care, folks. Gotta run.
Thank you. I'd like to thank our viewers and our listeners. First of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for always putting together an absolutely fantastic show. Most importantly, I'd like to thank our viewers and our listeners for tuning into the James Cooley Show Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central Standard, 4 p.m. Central Standard, 5 p.m. Whatever. Always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Remember, it's your life. And we'll see you then.
Dr. James, JC, Cooley. It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Katelyn, that was absolutely. Let's make sure we're out there. We're out there. That was absolutely fantastic.
It's so much fun.
I'm looking forward to you coming back on the show. Looking forward to
Thank
it.
you for the invitation. Super
You
honored.
know, I've been thinking, I've been invited TED Talk um, many times over the years. Never even
Mhm.
took it up. I didn't even take that seriously. Is it worth it? I'm just
It
asking you.
is. Yeah, and I am a TEDx coach as well as
Mm.
a speaker now. I've helped 4 different people that I've been coaching through, and I'm happy to talk to you a little bit more about the details and such behind that. But I it was the hardest presentation I've ever written. It's kind of like that quote, if I had more time, I would have written you a shorter letter.
Mhm.
Taking one idea and packing it down to the tightest format possible is crazy challenging, but it's such a nice way to share ideas with the most supportive audience that I think you will ever experience on stage, bar none.
How can I don't know how to say this. I'm thinking about seriously. I'm getting ready to do my speaking tour about
Mhm.
that. How can I get involved? And I mean, people consider me as being a speaker or whatever that is. What are the rules? It costs money, or what does it cost? I mean, is that the case?
So, yeah, so TED stage different than other stages. Um, where I mostly speak at medical conferences,
Mhm.
and that's a very different process from a TED stage. TED stage is a great way to promote other speaking because anywhere that you speak, they want you to have the speaker's reel,
Mhm.
in which they see you on stage and they see what your presentation style is. And TED Talks are fantastic at giving examples of just that. Um,
So, do you have to be recommended? I mean, I didn't know that people asked me a long time. I mean, many times ago, I always turned it down. Is there we have to invite you? Or I don't know what that looked like. Uh,
yeah, it's an application process. Um, so there are at this point, I think, 2,000 TEDx events globally every year. Some will take speakers from anywhere. Many will only take local speakers. So oftentimes starting with the events that are local to you, and you're Texas based.
no, I live in Texas and I live in California. So I live in both.
Okay,
I
so
spent
you got
3 weeks
both.
in Texas. I spent my headquarters, my studios is in La Jolla, California. So I live in both places, right?
That's great.
And
That gives you
and,
more
and I,
options.
I speak around. I speak at a lot of places, a lot of events, right?
Hmm.
Um, TED Talk was somebody brought this up to my attention. The last 4 or 5 different TED Talks. Said, "Hey, JC, you need to do this." And I thought about it. I said, I don't know how to do it now, cause I done turned it down so much, you know. So uh,
Well, and
hold
in
on,
my head, there's this
hold on,
Venn
hold up,
diagram of where TED
hold up,
Talks.
hold up.
Yeah.
We are still streaming. Let me end this. I don't know why it didn't end. I'm sorry, but we ain't said
No, it's
nothing.
okay.